Hello and welcome to Scissorboy.com. It's Adriana here. We are in the middle of the lovely area of Chiswick in London, and I'm joined by the lovely Alan Austin Smith. I love that name.
Thank you.
Now, Alan Austin Smith has created a fantastic hairdresser. Now, this is an amazing concept in my eyes. I think it's something that I think a lot of hairdressers don't even know about, don't even think about, and that's obviously why you created it, right?
Well, yeah, I think for me, I mean, I've been in this industry since I was 16, and I've been a very successful hairdresser and then an educator. And for me, it started to become really clear that what makes a fantastic hairdresser is the other stuff. You know, you need to be able to cut hair. Not for 1 second saying that, of course, that's critical. But I think I've worked with so many hairdressers over the years that are really good with a pair of scissors, but they can't build a column.
Right.
Clients aren't coming back to them. And that's when I started to think, well, why is that? You're a good hairdresser. You know, you cut hair really well.
It's really frustrating, isn't it, for them? Yeah.
So why are clients not coming back to you? And then I started to realise that actually, in equal amounts, I call it the 50% rule. In equal amounts, the other stuff, as I call it, communication, confidence, customer service, self-motivation, self-discipline, etc., etc., etc. All of those things are just as important. I mean, I always go with the 50%. Some people say to me, I think it's more than that, and I think the other stuff is even more than that. And
yeah, some people might say that, yeah. I was thinking that when we were talking about it earlier.
Well, you know, I understand that, but I won't let anybody go there, because the minute we start doing that, we diminish hair.
Right.
So for me, it's got to be 50-50.
Yeah, it's got to be a balance.
It's hair and the other stuff. Now, when you put those two things together, you've got a fantastic hairdresser.
Yes, definitely.
And I just thought, you know what? In this amazing world we have in the hairdressing industry worldwide, the education you can get in terms of hair is amazing, absolutely amazing. And there's so many opportunities and so many different places you can go to. But what about the other stuff?
I suppose a lot of hairdressers and creative people in general, they do obviously want to focus on the creative side, and that's all they think about, but then they forget about the other important side. And I can sort of imagine that because you started as a hairdresser, you have the power of being on both sides, and you can see it from your point of view as well. You can understand what hairdressers are going through and what they need to do to improve.
Well, when I was 16, I became a hairdresser. I started at Sassoon's, and then I worked for Glenby, and then from there I worked for L'Oreal. So immediately I had the two sides. I spent the first part of my career as a hands-on hairdresser in the salon. I was the creative director for Glenby, so I was involved in all the wonderful stuff, the shoots and the shows and so on. So I really had a good cross-section of what happened in a salon, from being a 16-year-old who was doing everything possible to hide so I didn't have to do any work, through to all the great stuff that a creative director does. Then I spent the next half of my career working for L'Oreal, 8 years with L'Oreal. And in that sense, I started to understand this industry from a different perspective. I understood the business of it.
Right, because I was wondering how you managed to learn about that side of it if you started off as a hairdresser. So L'Oreal was where you learned that side of it.
Yeah, I moved into sales and technical with L'Oreal, and then into management, and was very involved again in just trying to get salons to understand that there's more to a successful salon, successful hairdresser, than just doing great hair.
Alan, you talk about passion, and we were discussing this earlier. So what do you think the perfect blend is that makes a fantastic, because you said obviously there's a difference between a good hairdresser and a fantastic hairdresser. So what is it, what are the sort of key ingredients, do you think? And obviously one of them is passion.
Without question. I mean, when I wrote the book, The Fantastic Hairdresser, I didn't want it to be just what I thought. I thought this is too important for that. So I actually did a lot of interviews. I did over 70 interviews. with Fantastic Hairdressers.
So you did great market research.
Yeah, and it was Fantastic Hairdressers operating at the highest level. Some of them were the Fantastic Hairdressers, Trevor Sorby, Anthony Miscola, Charles Wellington, all. But then I started talking to what I call normal Fantastic Hairdressers. You're not Trevor Sorby, you're Joe, who works in a salon down the road, but you're fantastic at what you do.
Right.
And out of those conversations, I came up with 7 characteristics.
Okay.
And those 7 characteristics, for me, almost become the benchmarks. The first was passion.
Right.
Now, they're not actually in order of preference, but passion had to be there because, quite simply, every single person I spoke to, I mean, seriously, every single one of them, when asked, why are you so fantastic at what you do, they all said,
I love it.
I love it. I just love what I do. So passion had to be number 1. The next one that I always talk about is delight. Because I talk about customer delight. I think customer service is dead.
I agree. Yeah.
Customer service is not good enough anymore. Any half-decent hairdressing salon is giving good customer service. I use words like delight, wow, excite, surprise. You know, are you exciting your customers, your clients? Are you surprising them? Are you wowing them? Don't just serve them, delight them.
And it can be done in all the little ways, not it's just
totally.
everything, isn't it?
Well, the other thing I think there as well, we've had to learn lessons on the way, and we haven't always gone the right directions as we've been learning as an industry to be more business-like, I guess. And so one of those things is I think we've previously tried to create the delight with things.
Right.
So the coffee, the glass of wine, the
Little extras.
Exactly, the flower display. Now those things are lovely, but I'm now using a term, I'm saying people, not things. It's people who delight. The next one was inspire. When I was talking to these guys, they inspire people. They excite. Not that they excite their team members, they excite their industry, but they excite their clients.
Yeah.
I also can be a bit controversial on that one. I'm actually known in the industry for begging the industry to stop retailing.
Right, okay.
Yep. Stop retailing, stop selling colour,
Right.
and stop selling treatments. Start doing your job, which is making people look and feel fantastic. Now, to make you look and feel fantastic, I need to excite you to have this product. I need to inspire you to have some colour in your hair.
So then all the extra selling is not needed?
No. You know? Once we become retailers and selling colour, we lose what this business is about. And the client's not stupid. They go, oh, here we go. But when it's genuine and I'm inspiring you and exciting you, you'll buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's as simple as that. After that, the one thing that really struck me about all these people that I was interviewing was they were such ambassadors. They really believed in their industry, and they wanted their industry to be perceived in the right light. And so the 4th one was Fantastic Hairdressers are ambassadors. And then we have 3 left after that. And the next one is one that's really close to my heart. Fantastic Hairdressers are performers. They're on stage, they perform. After that is alive inside. I love that statement. Are you alive inside?
Yeah.
You know, how can you be alive on the outside? Passionate, inspiring, delighting. If you're not alive on the inside, it's got to come from in here.
Yeah, and it's more believable if it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's your self-motivation. And then finally, perhaps the most important one of the lot. Fantastic Hairdressers always learning.
Right.
Always. I don't care who you are. You look at the greats. I'm lucky enough to work with most of these people, and you look at the greats, and these guys, they understand a simple fact. You know, the moment you start believing your own PR, you're finished.
I agree with that.
Yeah?
Yes, definitely.
And I look at the greats in our industry, whether it's Vidal Sassoon or whoever, and they know they've done well, but there's always more. I want to learn more. I want to do more, and that was the last one.
I think that's one of the secrets that you had, whereas you were successful, but then when I asked you about did it intimidate you going into the business side, and you said no, it opened up doors. I suppose it's also the ability to recognise that and recognise what you're doing right, as well as learning, because that's obviously a form of learning. Yeah. And I think that's where the difference is between the greats and the people who are still trying to get there, learning all along the way.
If we're talking about from the client's perspective, there's something that I call be buy focused. Right. B-U-Y.
Okay.
Yeah? Because everybody talks about being sales focused. Yeah, you must be sales focused, must be sales focused. And I'm not sure. I think we should be buy focused.
Right.
I think we should be thinking about what people want to buy.
Okay.
And really understanding what you as a client want, not what I want to give you or sell you. Listen, if someone goes into a hardware shop, into a hardware store, and they ask for a 1/4-inch drill, yeah, what do they want?
A 1/4-inch drill.
No, they want a hole in the wall.
Good point, I like that.
Yeah.
That's
and
a good
for
point.
me, that is being buy-focused.
Right.
Am I selling you a 1/4-inch drill?
Right.
Yeah, or a hole in the wall? And when you understand that, then you come at things completely differently.
That's a great point, yeah.
I think sometimes my job is actually more about questions than answers. I think someone has to ask the questions. And so one of my questions was, why does a salon have a reception desk? Because, do we just have a reception desk because we've always had them? You see, we used to have a reception desk because there was this huge big book and it had to sit somewhere. But that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, we're not really thinking about why.
Computers. Yeah? You can have a computer screen on the wall. It can be a touch screen on the wall. So do we actually need that? Do we not have headsets that people can wear now? Do we need to have the phone there? And of course the big question everybody asks me when I say that is, okay, I'm with you, Alan, but how do they pay? They pay at the chair. I always say think restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody should go away and rip out their reception desk, but maybe there's some things you can learn from that by asking the questions and being able to do that because it's not my core business. I can afford for it to not work.
Yes.
And learn.
Yes. And lastly, of course, I want to show, I have to show these books that you've got out. Now, you've had great success with these. You've got the Fantastic Hairdresser one there at the front, of course. You've got the Fantastic Salon and the Fantastic Boss, obviously covering all the things that we've spoken about just now. And how are these doing? They're doing well, I hear.
Well, the Fantastic Hairdresser is one of the top-selling books in the industry now. It's speaking to hairdressers as hairdressers, but it's not about hair, it's about the other stuff.
Yeah.
But instead of it being boring, it's exciting, it's passionate, it's fun, and people want to learn. Hairdressers want to learn, they want to be better, they love learning.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you and very inspiring. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, here we go. Snip, snip.